29th, and my boyfriend, 31 Memland, of 5 years, just broke up after the fight we both knew was coming. I don't really know how to start this, so I guess I'll just rip the band-aid off. My boyfriend of 5 years and I broke up last night. It wasn't cheating. It wasn't some dramatic betrayal. It was just the slow, awful realization that we were walking in different directions and the fight that finally made it real. We live in Chicago. Or I guess lived in Chicago, because I don't know how much longer I can stay in the apartment without him here. We moved in together after year 2 in a little walk-up near Logan Square that was equal parts cozy and falling apart. It always smelled faintly like the coffee shop downstairs. He's a roots person. Wants to buy a condo, put down permanent stakes, maybe even get married in the next couple years. Me? I want to travel. I want to take work contracts in different cities. I'm not ready for the mortgage and kids chapter yet. We've been circling this conversation for over a year, both of us making little compromises that felt fine in the moment, but started building resentment. He'd sigh when I'd talk about maybe moving to another state. I'd feel suffocated when he'd send me Zillow listings, just to look. Last night, the dam broke. We were cooking dinner, pasta with the jarred sauce I like, which he thinks is cheating, and something stupid set it off. I mentioned maybe applying for a year-long job posting in Seattle. He just snapped. Told me he was tired of feeling like my placeholder until I find the life I really want. I told him I was tired of feeling like he was building a cage for me, even if it was a really nice, well-furnished cage. It escalated. Voices raised. Old grievances dragged out like dirty laundry we'd been keeping in the back of the closet. At one point, I said something cruel, that I didn't see myself marrying him ever. And the look on his face. I can't unsee it. He packed a duffel bag, said he'd stay with his brother for now, and then he left. I spent the rest of the night on the couch, not even crying at first, just staring at the wall. Then the crying came in waves, the ugly, hiccuping kind that leaves your whole face puffy. This morning, I made coffee for 2 before remembering it was just me. I think that hurt worse than the fight. I guess I'm here because I don't know what to do next. Do I try to fight for us, even if our goals don't line up? Do I let him go because it's the right thing? Is there a right thing here? Or are we just 2 people who loved each other but couldn't make it work? Thanks for all the responses. I've been reading them nonstop, even though some made me cry all over again. The most common advice was basically, don't make any big decisions while you're still in the emotional fog. So I've been trying to just sit with it. The apartment feels wrong without him, like someone took a Polaroid of our life and started scratching him out with a coin. I keep noticing tiny, dumb things. The way his shoes aren't by the door, his dent in the couch cushion, the missing hum of his video game menus in the background. We haven't spoken except for one text. He asked if I could be home Thursday evening so he could come grab more of his stuff. I said yes. My stomach's been in knots ever since. I keep replaying the fight in my head. The thing that hits me hardest isn't even what I said. It's realizing how long both of us have been holding in those feelings. It's like the breakup was already halfway done before we even opened our mouths. Some friends have already taken sides. My best friend is firmly, team you need to travel while you're young. But our mutual couple friends have been sending me these weird, polite but distant texts like they're trying not to get caught in the crossfire. He came by. It was awful in that quiet, polite way where you both know you're being too polite because you're barely holding it together. He packed more clothes, his guitar, and a few kitchen things he'd bought. We didn't talk about us at all, just, this is yours, and should I take this now? But when he was leaving, he hesitated at the door. Just stood there, hand on the knob, looking like he wanted to say something. I froze because part of me was hoping he'd say, I miss you. Let's fix this. Instead, he said, don't let the plants die. And then he left. I broke down the second the door closed. Okay, so this is the part where life throws you curveballs. A mutual friend posted a group photo from a night out on Instagram, and I guess he was in the background. He looked happy, genuinely. I wanted to be happy for him, but instead my chest tightened like someone was wringing it out. Later that night, I got a text from him. Hey, I've been thinking about you. Can we talk? My first instinct was yes, immediately yes. But then I remembered all the comments from here telling me not to run back just because it's comfortable. I told him I'd need some time to think about it. He just replied, "Okay." Now I'm sitting here wondering if I just delayed the one conversation that could have saved us, or if I just dodged falling back into a relationship that still doesn't fit. We met up. It wasn't dramatic. We grabbed coffee at the little place by the lake. We actually laughed at first, swapping updates about work, gossiping about our building's weird neighbor. For about 20 minutes, it felt normal. Then he said he still loved me, that he's been miserable without me, but also, and this is the kicker, that he still wants the life we fought about. The condo, the long-term plan, the family. I told him I still want to see the world, maybe take that Seattle contract. We both just sat there staring at our hands. It was like standing on opposite sides of a glass wall. We hugged goodbye, but it felt like the final one. So I took the Seattle job. It's temporary, but it feels right. Chicago was starting to feel like a museum of us, every corner reminding me of some version of myself that doesn't exist anymore. We haven't spoken in weeks. I still think about him when I see something he'd find funny. I still get this bittersweet pang when I pass a store that sells the brand of coffee he loved. But I'm starting to realize that love isn't always enough. Not if you're growing in different directions. It's wild how a year can feel like a lifetime, and also like you just blinked. Seattle was everything. I made friends, hiked on weekends, fell in love with rainy mornings and strong coffee. I even started dating casually. Nothing serious, just meeting people without that heavy expectation hanging over me. But he was still in the background of my mind. Not in an obsessive, check his social media everyday way. I actually unfollowed him months ago. But in that what if kind of way, like a song you don't listen to anymore, but still know all the words to. This week, I came back to Chicago for a friend's wedding. I was walking down Milwaukee Avenue, half lost in thought, when I heard someone say my name. It was him. We both froze. He looked older, in the way people do when they've lived through a hard year. Still handsome, still familiar, but also different, like he'd stepped into his own life and grown into it. We went for a drink. We didn't pretend the past year didn't happen. We caught up, talked about the good and the bad. He told me he'd bought the condo. I told him about the mountains in Washington and the time I accidentally joined a paddleboard yoga class. It wasn't awkward. It wasn't sad. It was gentle. When we said goodbye, he hugged me a little longer than necessary, and I realized something. I still loved him, but not in the same way. Not in the I want to make this work way, more in the I'm grateful you were part of my story way. We walked in opposite directions, and for the first time in a long time, I didn't look back. If you like these stories and videos, make sure to like, comment, and share so we can make some money from ad revenue and continue getting better and better with our publications. We strive to donate a portion of everything we make to charities that make a difference. Let us know if there is someone or thing you want to support. Thank you for staying until the end and enjoying the story.